is, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Like smoking isn't that dangerous.
You can quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for help getting free medication.
Tomorrow on ET, when the stars and sports worlds collide, it's ET at the ESPY Awards.
It's dangerous when I got the mic, though.
Plus, our exclusive with the cast of Dungeons & Dragons at Comic-Con.
There are no limits to your imagination, no limits to what's possible.
Okay, but meanwhile, Jamie Lee Curtis has reached her limit with Michael Myers.
Come and get me.
Halloween Ends premieres October 14th, and look, Jamie Lee recently said this is the end of her legacy as Laurie Strode.
I've said farewell for the time being to a woman who I've inhabited.
Happening now.
Law enforcement failures at every level. So the Texas House Committee report called Officers' Response to the Uvalde Massacre. The community's demands to strip the district police chief of his title now growing. Coming up, we're on Uvalde with the latest.
As the state sees a growing number of teacher vacancies, what one school district is doing to retain teachers. Coming up next.
Record highs are being challenged. We're going to talk about the heat and see if anything is brewing in the tropics that could provide some rain. The news at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, breaking news on the city's west side.
The San Antonio police are responding to a call for a body found in the street. We're talking about San Luis Street. Our Patty Santos live at the scene. Patty, what can you tell us about all this?
Got a call about a body being found outside this home that you can see right in front of here where the police are. They say it appears to be a woman between 18 to 20 years old. At this point, they know that she was wounded. They don't know if it was a stab wound or a bullet wound, but they know that she was likely dumped here. It was an anonymous tip that came in to notify them. But neighbors tell me this house has been vacant for at least 4 years. And as the body was being looked at here when I was here, I could tell that it appeared to be inside possibly a plastic basket of some sort. Again, police saying the body was dumped here. They don't believe that anything happened here. But residents that live in this area tell me they're concerned about crime in this area and also shootings that they hear at night. We're going to continue to stay here and bring you more from this area coming up later in the newscast. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Patty. First at 5, he stole a heavy piece of machinery from a local business. It turns out it helped to lead police right to him.
This is 35-year-old Renee Gonzalez. According to SAPD, the business owner reported a backhoe being stolen this morning, taken from a business at Southeast Loop 410.
The owner told officers that the suspect didn't know that the machine had a GPS tracker on it.
Officers traced it back to a home in the 2000 block of Darwin Street. That's on the west side. That's where they found Gonzalez at about $200,000 worth of stolen property. He was taken into custody. He's facing several charges. However, this may not be the end of his troubles. The Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office and other agencies investigating whether he may be connected to other thefts.
Now to more fallout regarding the Uvalde shooting inside Robb Elementary School.
Today we've learned a school district official is calling for Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo to be removed.
It comes ahead of a meeting in Uvalde tonight where our John Paul Barajas is standing by. John Paul, what's going on out there now?
Steve, Ursula, after a nearly over 3 hour long meeting on Monday, residents were clear and blunt. They want District Police Chief Pete Arredondo fired. He is on administrative leave and has been since late June. And it looks like their demands and even threats of the superintendent losing his job have worked. According to the Associated Press, Uvalde's top school official has recommended the firing of Arredondo. Earlier today, the school board announced they would consider the move in a special meeting on Saturday. This comes nearly 2 months after the shooting. One woman we spoke to says she still isn't satisfied.
It feels good because at least, they're getting, somewhere, they're starting with someone, but they should have done that a long time ago, a very long time ago. The only reason they're doing it is because they're feeling the heat.
If fired, Arredondo would be the first of the nearly 400 officers who were at Robb Elementary to lose their job. Arredondo has claimed he was not the incident commander back on May 24th. It's something the Texas House Committee report called a terrible, tragic mistake. Now, we'll be trying to talk to school officials, including the superintendent, who are here at a meeting coming up at 6 and 10 to try and bring you the latest. In Uvalde, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. With the start of the new school year fast approaching, districts across the city hiring new teachers, staff, and that includes Southwest ISD.
Our Camelia Juarez went on a job fair today. She spoke to one woman who says she was moved to apply to be closer to her children, a desire brought about in the aftermath of Uvalde. Camelia joins us now live from Southwest ISD. Camelia?
Steve, Ursula, Southwest ISD is looking to fill 35 teaching positions, and that ranges from bilingual teachers to special education teachers. And they're also looking to fill custodial and cafeteria spots as well. Now, we spoke to some teachers or some people who are looking to be in the classroom for the first time, and many of them say that they want to do that because of their love for children. Now, one mother says that she's applying to be a substitute to raise up children and help the school district in a time of need, a time when more teachers are retiring or becoming frustrated. Another mother is applying to be a substitute teacher. That way she can be closer to her daughter and to help look out for other parents' children. One mother at today's job fair, Destiny Carroll, told us she decided to make the move after what happened at Robb Elementary.
I just kind of want to be around where I can be around my kids and help other parents, you know, just here with their kids. And the whole Uvalde situation really hit home. It made me feel like I needed to be where I can help. So that's something that really affected me, and hopefully I can be of help to others.
And Carol is not the only person who brought up school safety concerns. Coming up at 6, we'll speak with a first-time teacher who's optimistic about the upcoming school year despite her own concerns. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Camelia. San Antonio Police and Crime Stoppers asking for some help identifying the driver of this vehicle. SAPD says the driver hit and killed 43-year-old Pedro Sepulveda on July 13th. He was in the 5600 block of Southeast Loop 410 access road. A report states that the vehicle parts from the scene and the surveillance video show that the suspect was possibly driving a 2010 to 2015 Mercedes ML63 SUV. Once identified, the driver could face charges of failure to stop and render aid. If you know something, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
A suspect accused of robbing a man at gunpoint on the Northeast Side now in police custody. An arrest affidavit states 31-year-old Jonathan Roberts, the suspect in the May 24th robbery at a business near I-35 and Ritterman Road. Last week, SAPD released surveillance images from the incident, asking the public for help in identifying him. The affidavit states several anonymous tips named Roberts as the suspect. He's now facing an aggravated assault charge. His bond is set at $75,000.
In court today, a teacher testifying, a student giving an answer to a question, was then fatally shot seconds later by the Parkland school shooter. The penalty trial continuing in Fort Lauderdale today. That student mentioned there was one of 17 people who were murdered 4 years ago. The teacher today describing the initial gunshots heard down the hallway from the semi-automatic rifle. The jury must decide if the shooter should be sentenced to death or life without parole. Now to the latest on the global heat wave. It's just unbearable temperatures impacting millions of people around the world.
Yeah, today President Joe Biden taking a new executive action to address the heat wave and climate change. ABC's Rena Roy with the latest.
As more than 100 million Americans face heat advisories across the country, President Biden taking new executive actions to address the scorching temperatures and climate change.
As president, I have a responsibility to act with urgency and resolve when our nation faces clear and present dangers. And that's what climate change is about. It is literally, not figuratively, a clear and present danger.
The actions will provide $2.3 billion for stronger infrastructure meant to withstand the effects of climate change and funding to help low-income families improve air conditioning in their homes. The Biden administration also taking steps to expand wind power production off American coasts.
We can make things better in terms of jobs. We can make things better in terms of the environment. We can make things better for families overall.
Unbearable heat coast to coast, wildfires raging in Texas, and now the Northeast facing high temperatures, some areas hitting the triple digits. Experts say climate change has accelerated the frequency, number, and intensity of heat waves, also making them 3 to 5 degrees warmer in much of the U.S. Biden considering declaring a national climate emergency.
We are in an emergency, and it is a worldwide emergency. Moving forward, marshaling resources.
Senate Republicans saying they'll fight to undo it if he does.
This administration lacks a coherent policy on climate. Period. End of story.
Climate change activists say the steps Biden announced Wednesday fall short of the more sweeping measures that are necessary to actually combat global warming. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And taking a look at our day today, a record high temperature. So far, the high is 103. That beats the old record by 2 degrees. But we'll get the official information by 6 o'clock because we still could warm up another degree or so. You look at backyard temperatures, Warren and Del Rio 108, Talia, Eagle Pass 106, Santa Maria, Debbie's backyard 100 degrees, Bernie, Rick's backyard at 99. That's the one exception that's below 100. Windcrest, Santa Jim's house, 102 degrees. As we go through the evening, the wind's going to kick up again. You'll notice that wind out of the southeast at times, gusting up to 25 miles per hour, and temperatures just gradually falling through the 90s. And we actually hit a milestone today, and we're top 3 for a certain ranking of 100-degree days. We'll get into it in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. From higher temperatures to higher costs in goods and services, impacting plenty of Americans right now, including here in San Antonio. Between June 20th and July 7th, Google surveyed 500 internet users. The results, not all that surprising. 84% of respondents say they have been impacted. 47% said they're greatly impacted. Only 6% said they were not impacted at all by higher prices. Gas prices are what's hitting people the hardest. 80% of respondents said that's where they're feeling the most impact. The cost of food, 73%. Inflation is hurting them there. Right now, the San Antonio Food Bank says it's feeding about 100,000 people per week. CEO Eric Cooper believes the need is actually greater than that, but some people simply can't afford the gas to go pick up the food. Consumer inflation up 9.1% from a year ago, the highest jump since 1981. It is the middle of summer. That means outdoor gatherings are on. If they involve food, listen up. Are you storing your food properly? Tips on how to keep your food from spoiling and making anyone sick when we come back.
I'm Myra Arthur with a look at what's coming your way today on the news at 6. A new migrant resource center is helping asylum seekers passing through San Antonio reach their destinations across the U.S. What they are doing here in the meantime and what kind of reception they're getting from people and businesses in this area. Jesse DeGollado has that story coming up at 6 o'clock. Plus, it is a controversial Pentagon program meant to help law enforcement. But do local police departments really need armored vehicles and military rifles to keep the peace? Tonight at 6:30, investigative reporter Dylan Collier takes a closer look at the 1033 program that gives military weapons to police for free. The issue here, does this hardware make officers think less like law enforcement and more like soldiers?
Most people in the public, right or left, don't like the idea of a police agency treating them like, people they're going to conquer.
You can watch this story today on KSAT Investigates. It's all coming up on the news at 6. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Myra. All right, having a picnic or cookout at a park might be a summer tradition, but with weather like this, nasty bacteria can quickly become a problem. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz shows us how to keep the food cool and keep food poisoning off the menu.
Food is always at the center of Megan Kenny's family get-togethers.
In the summers, we like to go to the park and make picnics and
friends, be at the beach.
Picnics and cookouts are summer traditions, but you don't want to invite a bout of food poisoning.
Bacteria love hot and humid summer weather, which makes it the perfect time of year for harmful bacteria to multiply on food. And when this happens, someone eating the food can get sick.
More people get food poisoning in the summer than at any other time of year. So here's what the experts say you should do to keep the picnic safe. First, prep your food in coolers the night before. Fill the coolers with ice to drop the temperature and keep all of your food refrigerated until it's time to leave. Then pack it full, avoiding open space. Put ice or ice packs on top. If you're driving far, keep the food in the AC, not in the trunk. And when you arrive, set the cooler in the shade. A separate cooler just for drinks is a smart idea because that lid gets opened and closed a lot. And it's not just dishes with mayo to be wary of on a hot day. If the temperature is higher than 90 degrees, 1 hour is the limit for any food to be left out of the cooler. So try putting cold dishes inside a larger bowl filled with plenty of ice. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Now there's some news you could use right now. Look at that temperature, 103. Could go up to 104 still.
Oh, absolutely. We could still hit 104 today. There's still some time. The sun is still warming us up, and it's that time of year where we've got that high sunshine. And in turn, so far the high is 103. And let's get right to it. Take a look at this number, 41. That's the update. 41 100-degree days so far this year. That's a milestone because it puts us in third place now. So 2022 is in third place all time for 100-degree days in a given year. To put it in perspective, 59 back in 2009, we had about 28 100-degree days by this point back in 2009. So obviously we're on pace to quite likely have the most 100-degree days in a given year. If July ended today, it would be the hottest July on record. You look at our time lapse, a beautiful sky, a little bit of dust in the air, so you see a little bit of that haze. You have to look closely, but it's out there. Right now we're at 102 officially. Dew point is 62. It feels like 104 when you factor in the humidity. Taking a look at actual area temperatures, Rio Medina 103, Bulverde 99, New Braunfels 104, Pleasanton, Stinson, both at 105. Bottom line, we are all feeling the heat out there this afternoon. It's more of the same. Triple-digit heat. Hey, Uvalde just updated to 103. Del Rio now 106 and Cotulla 107. You factor in the bit of humidity that's out there, and these are the heat index values, the feels like temperatures. New Braunfels up to 109, Pleasanton up to 110. Cotulla has that feels like temperature of 111. So the humidity is playing a little bit of a role there, especially in some locations south and east of San Antonio. Obviously, we need some rain. We all know that. You take a look at the aquifer since March 1st, and we've been on a steady downward trend. And one thing I want to point out about this graph, the y-axis here, the vertical axis, is the all-time minimum at the bottom, and then the all-time maximum for the aquifer. So that's the range we have in there. And you can see we're pretty far from the all-time minimum, but we still need that water. And unfortunately, it's going to be pretty hard to come by. Other parts of Texas is getting rain today, and we'll even see some showers tomorrow off to the north of us, but this is pretty insignificant and not really all that widespread. Big picture shows the big blue H over the desert southwest. That's going to be sliding eastward slowly in the coming days. In turn, once it's parked over the southeastern U.S., that puts us in this easterly flow aloft. This is the steering wind coming off the Gulf of Mexico and even coming in from the Atlantic. So that, of course, begs the question, could anything develop out there to bring us some moisture? Right now, the answer is no, unfortunately. We often turn to the tropics, not just here, but I mean, a good portion of the eastern United States gets drought relief from tropical systems. That's one of the benefits they can provide. Nothing's even swirling out there that could develop within at least the next 5 days. 7 a.m. tomorrow, 79 degrees. By 10 a.m., we're 86. And then at noon, 92. Of course, a lot of sunshine tomorrow. We'll have some morning clouds, but otherwise a very sunny day. Then 102, the high temperature tomorrow afternoon. So we'll trim off a degree or so compared to what we have today. Lackland area, west side, 102, along with Von Army, Elmendorf, 102, Timberwood Park, 100, Castroville and Hondo, 103 tomorrow. And when you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel like it's about 102 to 105. The rest of the week, into the weekend, low 100s. And look at Wednesday. We've introduced a 10% chance of a pop-up shower.
Looks wonderful.
It's something.
Can't wait. 10%. Better than nothing.
Yeah, I still can't get over the fact we're talking about all these triple digits and football.
Hey, man, football. Oh, we're so pumped up. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, it is.
You know, we get pumped up in sports about football like Caskey gets pumped up for weather all the time.
Thermometers.
Absolutely, thermometers.
Yeah.
We're talking
Yeah.
about college football. Texas Longhorns, two of their running backs, Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson, added to an important watch list. And an Aggies wide receiver and team captain was arrested this morning. Coming up. Texas running backs Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson were named to the Doak Walker watch list given to the nation's top college running back. Robinson has rushed for 1,830 yards and 15 touchdowns, while also catching 41 passes for 491 yards and 6 touchdowns during his first 2 seasons on the 40 acres. Now, Johnson has rushed 299 times for 1,636 yards and 18 touchdowns during his first 3 seasons. Robinson and Johnson are important offensive pieces and could take on an even bigger role if quarterback Quinn Ewers beats out Hudson Card for the starting job. Ewers has just 2 college snaps to his credit compared to Card, who played in 8 games for Texas last season. While Texas is chasing its first national championship since 2005, the Georgia Bulldogs are looking to defend their national championship from last year when they beat #1 Alabama 33-18 for their first national title since 1980. Today at SEC Media Days, Georgia head coach Kirby Smart talked about being the team to beat.
People have asked the question, how does it feel to be hunted? We will not be hunted at the University of Georgia. I can promise you that. The hunting that we do will be done from us going the other direction. It's not something we're going to sit back and be passive about.
SEC Media Days will wrap up tomorrow. Aggies head coach Jimbo Fisher is scheduled to meet with the media at 12:30 p.m. Senior wide receiver Anais Smith, one of 3 players set to join Jimbo at SEC Media Days, was arrested this morning on charges of driving while intoxicated, unlawful carrying of a weapon, and marijuana possession, less than 2 ounces. According to the police report obtained by ESPN, Smith was arrested for DWI after he was stopped for speeding at approximately 2:15 this morning. He was booked in the Brazos County Jail after his arrest by A&M police. He was released after posting combined bail in the amount of $8,000. Smith will no longer represent Texas A&M tomorrow. The Aggies suspended Smith and are looking into the situation. The American League beat the National League in the All-Star game held at Dodger Stadium yesterday. Texas State alum Paul Goldschmidt hit a solo home run to left center field in the bottom of the first to give the NL a 2-0 lead. Top of the 4th, the AL will take the lead for good. Yankees' Giancarlo Stanton crushed a 457-foot mammoth 2-run shot, tying the game at 2. He was named Game Most Valuable Player. Then Twins center fielder Byron Buxton smacked a solo job for the final run of the game. The American League won 3-2 for its 9th straight All-Star game victory.
You know what I watched, obviously, because we're on the night beat for part of it. They seem to be having fun.
Yeah, and
it seemed like a fun game.
The players were mic'd up, and apparently fans loved it.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Yep.
We'll be right back.